Hi, Angela Rae here with Urban Living. Yes, I know you're looking at my beautiful highlights. Yes, highlighted all the way down. Listen, don't be worried about the gray in your hair right now. These nails look a hot mess. I do the S&S Dip, and my salon, Be Polished Seattle, if you go on their Instagram account, they have some instructions on how to take this dip off. But yeah, all of the beautification that we women like to do, we're having to put that on hold as far as getting professional help. And this might be a good time to learn how to do our own nails, manicure and pedicure, our own nails and toes, as well as just not even worrying about the gray that's in your hair. You know, if you're obsessed with, one little gray thing, you know what? Here's a good time for us not to be worried about crap like that, because it really doesn't matter. In the greater scheme of things, of what we're going through right now, I'm going to give myself some grace, and I'm going to ask you to give yourself grace, and I'm going to give you grace. Don't worry about the way we look right now. You are perfect just the way you are. And I love my crown of wisdom, my gray, but I'm going to cover it up as soon as I can. I'm going to make an appointment with Ingrid in September. I'm praying to God I can leave the house by September, but I don't have any faith that I'll get to the hair salon any sooner than that, and that's okay by me. So let's just, ladies, let's embrace being natural and being real and what that feels like. If you don't feel like putting a bunch of makeup on, don't. I put some makeup on today because I didn't want to scare the out of y'all. But every day, I mean, I work from home now, and there's a couple of days a week I try to put some makeup on. But, you know, don't worry about that kind of stuff. It's just not important. Let's lean into what is important. And that's what's happening in this country. I live here in the Pacific Northwest and am very proud of an acquaintance for what he and a friend did. This guy is an African-American and Hispanic developer. And he and his buddy, through their contacts internationally, got more than 500,000 N95 masks delivered here in Seattle, which is where I live and where he lives, to help in the region. And then when he realized, oh my gosh, the region maybe doesn't need this much, able to help in other areas. This is awesome work that just two men made this happen. Two men who have a lot of contacts and have a lot of need to help. His business is suffering just like all businesses, but he said, you know what, I need to do something now to help. And I really appreciate that. I really do, because we all need to do our part. And if we can't do anything as huge as that, that's okay. You can still do something by, let's call an elder. Let's just call one elder. Let's just check in, make sure they're okay, chat with them for a little bit. This is very isolating and can be very, very lonely for some, for all of us. So anyway, got a couple of things on my mind today outside of the grooming ladies that we're going to have to put on pause. Speaking of where I'm from, which is the Pacific Northwest and the western portion of the United States, California, Oregon, and Washington have all shipped to combined about 1,000 respirators to New York State to help them. A worker actually scrawled on one of the boxes, "All NYC needs is love." And I love that. Early interviews with governors and mayors of these states found that they weren't in as bad a position as the governor of New York. And so they decided, we want to do what we can to help. Because we actually, on the western portion of the United States, we actually had stay-at-home orders a lot sooner than people in other parts of the country. So right now, our numbers look totally different when it comes to COVID-19 deaths. Right now, and it is April 13th, New York City has more than 8,500 deaths. California, under 600. Washington State, under 500, and Oregon has under 50. So you can see the differences in the numbers there, and that might have had something to do with the stay-at-home orders that went into effect along the West Coast versus the time that they went into effect on the East Coast. So this just continues to just leave me feeling, I can't even find the right words. I mean, I was in New York City as a news anchor during 9/11. I was supposed to be traveling to visit my father in Texas then, and so I know what it's like to have to cover extreme breaking news. I was in the business for 15 years, so 9/11, JFK Jr.'s death, many hurricanes, Elian Gonzalez, on and on and on. Breaking news and covering tragedy and just really tough topics I'm very used to doing. But this has really got me, I think it's shooken me up a little bit. Is that the right word, shooken or shake? We'll go with shook. I'm shook up a little bit. How about that? Yeah, I am. And a lot of it is just this blasted uncertainty. You know, like I have to go to the store and I forgot to wear my mask or my bandana, however I'm doing it. And so then that stressed me out a little bit. And it's just all this uncertainty. And so what about my shoes? Like, you know, I said, let me take the groceries outside and I'll spray my shoes with bleach. There's just so much I know that we are just left doing this every day. I don't know. And there are people out there who are busting their butts trying really hard to solve these problems and figure this thing out for us and get us a vaccine so that we can get back to our lives. But until then, let's do what we can to help other people. And I'm really upset. I'm going to get on a roll here. I'm really upset at the way people who help us, the way they are being treated. Domestic workers. Why do we not value the people who are taking care of our beloved, our elders? My uncle and aunt are being taken care of by healthcare providers, home healthcare aides. These people don't make hardly any money, yet we want them to take care of our family. How is this? How is this going to work? People are being laid off from their jobs of helping to take care of families because families are concerned about being exposed to the virus, to this pandemic that's happening. People are concerned about bringing other people in the house now because they know that healthcare workers go home and they don't know what's happening in that household and what that household has been exposed to. So there's just a lot going on, a lot of confusion, and for me, a lot of almost anger at professions like my former profession, like being an actor, and all the money that can be made in these professions when, what are we doing? Entertaining and telling the news. I mean, really? Really? We want to pay less money for the people who take care of our families, who take care of mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, who harvest and pick food for us, who make sure it gets into the food supply chain. We want to pay them less than somebody in Hollywood who's doing a movie, or a news anchor who's sitting on the desk at CNN or Fox or MSNBC or whatever these stations are. I have a hard time with us not valuing people. We decide who we want to value. We want to value people who make a lot of money, who have a lot of money. That's unacceptable. And this virus is really pointing out the discrepancies and the class distinctions here in this country. I'm just dealing with the United States right now in this country. So I am truly perplexed as to why we don't want to take care of those who take care of us more. I look at teachers. I come from a long line of teachers. I would never have been able to make it in that profession. But on my mother and on my father's side, a long line of teachers, they don't get paid anything. They don't get paid the money that they should get paid when they are basically not only teaching your child, but having to sometimes raise your child. They don't get the money that they should deserve. Now, teachers are out of work. There's no work. There's no work. Students are sitting at home. I hope that they are getting some studying done, but not everybody has a computer in their home. And we need to understand that. Not every child has the same thing as the next. And some children needed school in order to deal with those discrepancies. And now that's not there for them anymore. So a lot of people are now having to turn to food banks, things that they probably thought they would never have to do. And food banks are, oh my God, they are inundated, overwhelmed. So we need to bring some canned goods, find out what food banks need wherever you are, and go and just bring them a bag full of groceries if you can. We have to help one another. We have to let humanity reign supreme. That's what should be supreme right now in our lives, is our humanity and our desire to help one another. That's what we need to be doing. Last week, the $2 trillion stimulus bill was passed. They're looking at another $500 billion in a second stimulus package. But the Democrats are holding it up because they don't see enough in the stimulus package for food assistance for low-income individuals and families. So the Democrats in the U.S. House, okay, they are looking out for families who don't have. They are looking out for those who are in desperate need. What the Republicans wanted to do was to bring more money to small businesses, something that also needs to be done. But we can have both. Why can't we have both? Why can't we continue to help small businesses because they need the assistance and they will help our economy begin to grow again? Why can't we have that as well as the ability to help provide food for Americans who need it? We are all Americans. All of us. If one of us is hurting, we are all hurting. I need Congress to come on, people. We've got a bipartisanship deal working with two governors, Cuomo, and then the governor from Maryland, Governor Hogan. They are working together. They understand the need to help states meet shortfalls. They're working together. This is not about Republican and Democrat, left and right now. This needs to be about doing the right thing for the citizens of this country. What? I'm not going to get started on your president. I'm not. But I'm going to tell you this one thing. He may be afraid of Dr. Fauci, but Dr. Fauci said this, and it's the truth. The virus is going to decide when this country opens. Donald Trump thinks he's running things. He's going to decide. This virus will truly decide when this country will be able to reopen. Wow. Now we hear that Smithfield pork plant, they had to shut down. That's a lot of the pork industry. That impacts a lot of moving pieces. This is the food supply. And I know that a lot of us are extremely stressed out about food. And I'm going to be honest, I'm one of them. I grew up, I had food insecurity. So it has always been an issue with me, food. And some of us who have had food insecurity in our past or in our lives, past, present, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And you may tend to overbuy. But everything I'm hearing is that our food supply will be fine. You know, I'm starting to see some other things in grocery stores where toilet paper and paper towels were history. I'm starting to see some off brands, at least some brands coming to the store. Yeah. I just don't know what to say. I'm glad I have you. I'm glad I have some folks I can talk to and just kind of get this stress off. You can talk to me anytime. Angela at AngelaRae.com. That's Angela, Angela, at Angela Rae, and Rae is spelled RAE.com. You can email me about anything. If there's a topic you would like for me to talk about, for us to talk about, chop it up, let me know. I'm here for you guys. Love you all. Stay strong. Urban living, Wakanda forever. We are here for you. We'll be back later on this week. I'm going to start sharing stories that I think are important to me. And you let me know what you would like to hear from me as well. Okay. Bless y'all. God bless you all. Peace.